Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all. This is C. Ankit Sharma, your income tax faculty for today's session, of course. So today we will be discussing basic concept part 2. It's a chapter number 1, but this is your second class of basic concept. So in the earlier class, in the first class, we discussed about the introduction part of basic concept, income tax, then the rate of taxes and the surcharge provision and the cess provision. And as we discussed, you can see that surcharge provisions were really complicated. And with the help of that diagram, the chart I have presented, you might finding it less difficult now than earlier. So we will discuss once again a surcharge little bit, and we will discuss today the rebate provision, the agricultural income provision, theoretical provision, as well as the numerical provision, which is integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural. And let me tell you, it's a very interesting provision. The integration is something different that exactly framed to tax those farmers' income, those do not have only one source of income, and that is from farming. So if you have only one source of income and that is your agricultural income only, that is farming income, then that is 100% exempt from tax in our country. But there are some farmers who also earning agricultural as well as some non-agricultural income via composite business or via any other source of business or via rental income, etc. So if you are a farmer and you are earning agricultural as well as non-agricultural income and satisfying certain condition, then there is a concept of integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income. What are these conditions? How we implement them? How we calculate tax in that situation? That will be discussed in today's class. I believe that you are all studying very hard to achieve the goal of your life, and that is to becoming a chartered accountant as soon as possible. And we as a faculty, ICAI, BOS, all coordinators are there to help you. So this is our live revisionary virtual classes, and we are going to discuss income tax revision basic concept, chapter number 1, day 2, session 2, as we can say. We will also going to discuss MCQs, and I will solve all the test your knowledge question and illustration also, which has been given in your study material. Okay, we will interact with each other. You can ask your queries and I will answer those queries. As I requested in the last class also, I am also requesting to all of you, please focus your query on the topic. So this is chapter 1. So whatever include in chapter number 1, that we are going to discuss in today's class. I have uploaded the notes, the surcharge chart, the marginal leave concept, and the MCQ sheet already. So you can go onto the BOS portal and you can find the uploaded notes there. I have uploaded one sheet including each and everything, the complete notes, including agricultural income, surcharge provisions, theoretical basic provisions, marginal provision, the diagrams, the charts, and the MCQs. Okay, so let's get started. And of course, when we will discuss the MCQ and when we will going to solve the test your knowledge question and illustration, so you all must have a pen, paper, and calculator with yourself. So that with yourself, so that will be easy for you to solve the question. So that will be the part when we will going to discuss the numerical part. Okay, before starting the class, let's revise a very important provision of rebate, which has been discussed in very short in the last class. And today we are going to discuss that rebate section 87A in detail. So after calculating of tax, we need to find out whether rebate is applicable or not. Like I have told you in the last class that there's a format calculation of tax as per the slab rate, etc. Then deduct the rebate part and then add the surcharge. So there could be only one thing. Either there could be rebate or there could be surcharge provision applicability. Okay. Now rebate has been in two parts because one is for optional regime and one is for default tax regime, that is section 115 BAC. Under optional tax regime, the rebate concept is very easy. It just says that if you have total income up to rupees 5 lakh, if you have a total income of up to rupees 5 lakh, then the amount of tax or 12,500 rupees, whichever is lower, can be claimed as rebate. Simple, very simple. Either 12,500 rupees or the amount of tax, whichever is lower, can be treated or claimed as rebate. This is only going to be provided to individual who is resident in. Okay. So that is a very simple provision, very easy provision. You have to calculate tax and you can claim rebate up to the amount of tax or 12,500 rupees, whichever is lower. So I believe that you must have gone through with these provision in your normal chapter, the normal class of the basic concept chapter number 1. Now the section 115 BAC, it says that if your total income is 7 lakh rupees, up to 7 lakh rupees, then you can claim amount of rebate that will be 25,000 or amount of tax, whichever is lower. Now this is also simple. There is nothing difficult till now, but there is one more concept, and it says that if your total income exceeds 7 lakh rupees, even in that situation, you can claim rebate as follows. You have to follow some step. When your total income is exceeding 7 lakh rupees, then you can claim rebate also in that situation also. That means what first point says that you can claim rebate only up to your income is 7 lakh rupees. That is not completely correct. Or we can say that is not complete provision. The provision says, yes, you can claim rebate up to rupees 25,000 or amount of tax if your TI is up to rupees 7 lakh. But there is point number 2 also, which says that even if your total income is exceeding 7 lakh rupees, you can claim rebate under section 115 BAC as follows. It has been divided into 3 parts. Step 1 says you have to calculate total income and you need to deduct 7 lakh rupees out of that income. So suppose in question, the total income has been given 7 lakh 10,000 rupees. So step 1 says total income is 7 lakh 10,000 rupees. Deduct 7 lakh. It is some kind of marginal relief concept. It's not named as marginal relief, but it is some element of that kind of calculation what we generally do under marginal relief concept. But let me tell you again, this is not named as marginal relief. This is still rebate for section 115 BAC. So if your income is exceeding slightly over from 7 lakh rupees, approximate from 7 lakh till 7 lakh 26,800, there is a certain limit. तो अगर आपकी इनकम 7 लाख रुपए से लगभग 7,26,800 तक है तो ये इंप्लीमेंट होता है, उसके बाद ये नहीं होता. जस्ट इन केस ऑफ मार्जिनली अगर आपकी इनकम 51 लाख है तो एमआर आता है, बट अगर आप देखें अगर आपकी इनकम 53 लाख के आसपास होती है then marginal leak generally does not applicable, but it's just a way to make you understand that it generally applicable up to 7,23,000 some rupees, but you have to calculate in every question when income is exceeding rupees 7 lakh. Okay, so step 1 says you have to take the total income and subtract 7 lakh rupees out of that income. So in my question it will be 10,000 rupees. Step 1 is 10,000 rupees. Okay, now step 2 says that you have to calculate tax on your total income. Now you have to calculate tax on 7 lakh 10,000 rupees. So if as per old regime, as per default tax regime, we are going to calculate tax on 7 lakh 10,000. So first 3 lakh rupees, it is nil. Next 3 lakh rupees, it's 5%. That means 15,000. Then balance is 1 lakh 10,000 in our question. Then 10% of it, 11,000. So technically, my tax would be 26,000. So first 3 lakh is tax free. Next 3 lakh is 5%, that is 15,000. The balance left is 1,10,000. Upon that 10% is applicable. So that would be 11,000. So my tax would be 26,000. So step 2 is saying point number B is my 26,000. Point number A was 10,000. Point B was 26,000. Now this says if B is exceeding A, in this solution, is B is exceeding A? Yes. If B is not exceeding A, then rebate would not be applicable. So rebate would be applicable only if B is exceeding A. So my B is 26,000 and it is exceeding 10,000, of course. So now if this condition is fulfilled, B is exceeding A, then the rebate would be B minus A. That means 26,000 minus 10,000. In this question, my rebate would be 16,000. And what we do with the rebate? What we do with the margin relief? Exactly the same implication with the rebate. So that is going to be deducted from the amount of tax we calculated. That was 26,000 minus 16,000. That would be 10,000. Now cess will be applicable. So this is very, very important for the purpose of examination. Let me tell you, MCQ can be asked, of course, and it could be the part of the question also, like 2 or 3 marks question there would be. So whenever you see in case of default tax regime, if income is slightly above from 7 lakh rupees, then you have to calculate rebate in a section 87A in this manner. We have an example also in our study material, in our notes also. So let me discuss that example with you in case of rate of taxes. So this provision is very, very important. Kindly follow whenever you calculate the tax under section 115 BAC. So that is a rebate provision what we were discussing. That is rebate for resident individuals under section 87A. In order to provide tax relief to the individual taxpayer, remember it is not available to anyone else except the individual. Under section 87A provides a rebate from the tax payable by an assessee being an individual and resident in India. Both conditions should be satisfied. You should be an individual and of course a resident in India. Okay. Rebate to resident individual paying tax under default tax regime. So it says if the total income of the resident individual is chargeable to tax under section 115 BAC and the total income of such individual does not exceed 7 lakh rupees. So it means up to 7 lakh rupees, you can claim rebate. The rebate should be equal to the amount of tax or rupees 25,000, whichever is lower. Of course, you must have gone through with this provision in the normal class also. This is the revisionary class, okay? The new classes for May 2025 will be started from 4th of October. These classes for January 2025 examination, and these are not regular classes, these are revisionary classes, okay? So now the general provision says rebate can be available with 25,000 rupees or the amount of tax, whichever is lower. Now the amount of rebate under section 87A shall not exceed the amount of income tax on the total income of the assessee with which he is chargeable for any assessment. Clear? This is normal provision. Now, the second point, this gives rise to that special concept what we just discussed, which is slightly looking like a marginal relief concept. And it says, if the total income of the resident individual is chargeable to tax under section 115 BAC, and the total income of such individual exceeds 7 lakh rupees, and income tax payable on such total income exceed the amount of which the total income is excess of 7 lakh rupees, the rebate would be as follows. What was the concept of marginal relief? Marginal relief says that कभी अगर ऐसा हो कि इनकम कम बढ़े और टैक्स उससे ज्यादा बढ़ जाए, So that excess could be claimed as a marginal leave. So if your income increment is less than the increment in tax, so in that situation, you can claim that marginal leave, which is equivalent to like a discount. So in this scenario, exactly we are talking like that your income exceeding just by 10,000, but your tax has been exceeding by 26,000. So that difference could be claimed as a rebate. So if you understand the provision of marginal relief clearly, in our earlier class, we have discussed the marginal relief concept. So you can see point number 1 is just looking like a marginal relief concept having a different kind of language. So you do not get confused. It's exactly same like marginal relief. It exactly the language, meaning of that language is exactly the same. So if your excess is exceeding, your income is less than the amount of tax is exceeding the amount of income. In that situation, you can claim that rebate. And what are the steps? Step 1, you have to subtract your total income by 7 lakh rupees. So whatever income has been given in the question as your total income, you have to deduct 7 lakh rupees out of it. Then step number 2 says, compute your tax liability on the income which has been given in the question. First of all, you have to calculate your total income and you need to deduct 7 lakh rupees out of it. So you will get that difference or income exceeding rupees 7 lakh. Okay. The point say now you need to calculate the tax upon the total income that has been given in the question. Like for example, if I'll say that income has been given 7 lakh 20,000. So point 1 will say that would be 20,000. Clear? Now step number 2 says compute tax liability. Now I need to calculate the tax upon 7 lakh 20,000 rupees income. So whatever tax will be there, now you need to say whether B is exceeding A, that means is tax exceeding income increment? And if the answer is yes, if the answer is no, then there will be no rebate. If the answer is yes, then what will be the rebate? B minus A. That means amount of tax minus the amount of income which is exceeding rupees 7 lakh. So we have a question also. This is from your study material, of course. And it says Mr. Pawan, age 35 year and a resident in India, has a total income of 7,15,000, comprising his salary. It is very important for integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income. Let me tell you students, जितना भी रिबेट का प्रोविजन यहां आपको इंपॉर्टेंट लग रहा है ना, it is more important when you will solve integration provision. I have prepared a very beautiful question for you, which is from MTP, the mock test paper, and it is really fascinated me that wow, this question is so unique. I believe that if somebody does not know the provision of integration or rebate under section 15 BAC, then he or she would not be able to solve that question. It is so beautifully framed by your institute in your MTP. So please focus during the class. We will solve that question also. So Mr. Pawan is 35 year and a resident in India, has a total income of 7,15,000, comprising his salary income and interest on bank fixed deposits. Compute his liability for assessment year 25-26 under default tax regime under section 15 BAC. So what we will do is step 1 says find out the excess of income exceeding rupees 7 lakh. So the question says income is 7,15,000. We will deduct 7 lakh rupees. So we will have our step 1, that is A point, 15,000. So income exceeded by 15,000. Now we need to calculate the tax. So tax on 7,15,000 would be 21,500. So now you can see our tax increased by 21,500 just when my income exceeded only from 15,000 rupees. So tax is exceeding my income. And if it is so, since B exceeding A, that means tax exceeding the income, just like a marginal leave case. Then what would be the rebate? That is tax minus that excess. So the 6,500 would be your rebate. This is your tax, this is your cess, and that is the answer. You can also solve it with the help of this table. I have prepared this table for you in a table format. If you want to solve these kind of question, then you can also solve it like this. Like the TI is 7,15,000, tax would be 21,500. Clear? Axis of income is 15,000. Axis of total tax increased by 21,500 and income exceeded only by 15,000. So the difference would be your rebate. Just same like marginally, I have prepared a table for you. You can follow this table also to find out the rebate under 87A. Clear? So that was the rebate provision for normal case. Like optional scheme, rebate concept is very simple. It is 12,500 rupees. You can calculate that. Fine. So that was a marginally, that was a rebate what we have discussed. Let me see if there is any query. Good afternoon. I've uploaded the notes. Okay. Abhijit is saying, in short, the amount of tax shall be the amount by which income exceeds rupees 7 lakhs up to 726,800. Yes, of course, Abhijit, you are correct. Well done. Actually, it's just like margin relief, which is applicable in the form of rebate under section 115 BAC up to a certain extent, like up to 7 lakh 26,000 or 27,000, it is applicable. If income is like 7 lakh 30,000, if you try to calculate the tax, then B would not exceed A. Then the amount of excess of income will be more than the amount of tax. In that case, this will not be going to applicable. किरण मिश्रा इज सेइंग सर ये मार्जिनल रिलीफ जैसा है बिल्कुल लगभग वैसा ही है जैसा कि मार्जिनल रिलीफ होता है एग्जैक्टली आई वाज सेइंग दैट सो एक्ट ये भी कर सकता था एक्ट कुड से इट इज जस्ट द सेम प्रोविजन जस्ट लाइक मार्जिनल रिलीफ बट इट इज इनकम टैक्स तो ये कुछ भी सीधे से नहीं करते दे जस्ट राउंड एंड राउंड एंड राउंड एंड राउंड बट अल्टीमेटली इट इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक द मार्जिनल रिलीफ I have also told in my last class that if you any one of you having any query in Hindi, you can ask your query in Hindi and I will answer that query in Hindi. Everything else would be in English. Okay. So let's carry on with the provision of surcharge also. In last class, I have explained you the surcharge provision and let me revise it in a very short manner because today we are again going to solve some question in which rebate, surcharge, cess, everything is going to be applicable. So what was the surcharge provision under optional tax scheme? There will be two situations. First case says if there is no special income, no special rate income, that was dividend, long term under section 112A, 112 and short term under section 118A, 111A. So if you do not have these kind of a special rate of income, then the surcharge is up to 50 lakh, normal provision, nil, more than 50, up to 1 CR, that was 10%, more than 1 CR, up to 2 CR, 15%, more than 2 CR, up to 5 CR, it was 25%, and exceeding 5 CR, it would be 37%. Okay. But under section 115 BAC provision, this rate is not applicable. In that case, if your income exceeding 2 CR, then surcharge would be 25%, whatever the income is. Whether it's exceeding 5 crore or not, it does not matter. Surcharge would be maximum 25% under section 115 BAC always. One difference, clear? Now, if your income including these income, special rate income is there. Now we have three separate cases. A, I'm explaining all those cases in short. A says if your total income, including these income.
Sir, these topics are covered yesterday, na?
I'm just trying to revise it because we are going to again solve some surcharge provisions. So I'm just going to revise in a very short manner. So whenever we will solve this question again, so you would not be going to recall the provision again. I'm going to give you some question today and I'm not going to solve it. I will wait for 5 minutes for your answers. So that I just wanted to revise it in a short. Just give me 2 minutes. I will revise it. So for that purpose, that is total income including the other. Then would we have, if it is after including up to 2 CR, then we have separate provision. Then case number B, it says if after including it's more than 2 CR, then we have separate provision fixed, that is 15%. And if without including, if these are excluding the special income, then we have different kind of rate. On special income, it was 15%, and on normal, it's either 25% or 37%. For 15 BAC, this is again not applicable. So that was the surcharge provision. So today, when we are going to solve the MCQ, so you are now aware of the surcharge provision again, the rebate concept again, and the normal rate of tax. I believe that you already remember that. Fine. So now we are moving on to our next topic, and that is agricultural income. After that, we will take the testimonialist question, our MCQs, and the other illustration what is given in the study material also. So this is now agricultural income. I am going to discuss a very important concept of agricultural income, that is integration. The other topic already have covered in detail in the normal class. So whatever is the important provision, I'm just going to revise it. And the very important provision, integration with agricultural, with non-agricultural, that is we are going to discuss, and then we'll move on to the MCQs and question part. Okay. So agricultural income, as in the starting of this class, I just discussed that if you are a farmer who is only having the agricultural income. So if somebody has confusion that agricultural income is exempt under income tax, then why we are going to pay tax on it? So agricultural income is still exempted. Even after the integration provision, if somebody is thinking that agricultural is going to be taxable, no, it's not taxable. If you have only agricultural income, then that is still exempted from tax, 100%. But if you have agricultural as well as non-agricultural income, only in that situation, integration provision will be applicable. Again, even in that case, agricultural income is exempted. If you'll see what exactly the integration provision says, the partial integration of agriculture income with non-agriculture, it says if somebody having agricultural income, suppose 10 lakh rupees, and non-agricultural income, suppose 20 lakh rupees. So if there would not have any provision like integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income, suppose there is no provision like integration, then what would be happen? This is going to be exempted. Clear? And this is going to be taxable. What would be the tax if under optional scheme we are going to calculate tax on this 20 lakh rupees, then up to 10 lakh rupees it's 1,12,500. And balance 10 lakh rupees, that is going to be taxable with 3 lakh. So generally the tax would be 4,12,500. Rebate would not be available because income exceeding 5 lakh. Surcharge would not be applicable because it does not exceed 50 lakh. Cess will be there. Clear? So approximate tax is 4,12,500. Now what integration does? Now integration says that if certain conditions are fulfilled, what are these conditions? We will discuss. If certain conditions are fulfilled, then you need to calculate the tax as per integration format. And it says, first of all, calculate tax on full income. Suppose this is not agricultural income. Suppose this 10 lakh is not agricultural income. Suppose this is also not agricultural income. So now assume you have 30 lakh rupees income and which is not agricultural. Now you have to calculate tax on it. So upon 20 lakh, that would be 6 lakh and 1,12,500. So 7,12,500 500 rupees would be your tax liability. We just assume that agricultural income is also taxable, but that is wrong. In point number 2, we will discuss these points in detail. Just I am trying to explain you what is the impact of technically taxing that income in this manner. This is pure mathematics. Now, point 1 says we just taxed your agricultural income like normal income. So farmers will be very angry. How could you do this? So department say just relax. Let we exempt your tax or your agricultural income. Now in the point number 2, we will consider your agricultural income and the basic exemption limit, which was 2.5 lakh in this case, the 2.5 lakh or 3 lakh. So now assume your income is 12.5 lakh rupees. Now calculate tax of this. So in the first point, what we did, we calculate tax on full income. And out of this 30 lakh, the income which is non-taxable, calculate the tax upon that income. Assuming if that income is going to be taxable. So out of this 30 lakh, 10 lakh is exempted income because it is agricultural. And this is your exemption limit. So now suppose your income is 12.5 lakh. Now calculate tax. So out of 12.5, 2.5 will be exempted and balance will be your tax liability as the normal case. You will need to calculate the tax. Now the difference will be your tax. And you will see the tax would be higher. How much will be the tax? Let me show you. So with the help of this, if you calculate tax on this, that would be 1,87,500. Now suppose your income is 12.5 lakh and you are going to calculate tax on it, that would be 1,87,500 and the difference would be 5,25,000. Now this is the beauty of this provision. If we directly exempt your agricultural income, the tax would be 4,12,500. And still, you cannot say that we taxed your agriculture income over here. You cannot say this because what we do, we calculate tax on total income, including agricultural. Then we deduct the tax which would have been applicable on your exempted income. That is your exemption limit and your agricultural income. So we just deducted the tax of agricultural income. So net taxable income would be only your 20 lakh rupees. You can see out of this 30 lakh, we deducted your agriculture income tax. So net taxable income would be only 20 lakh. But if we tax your 20 lakh like this, then tax will be 4,12,500. Now, after taxing with the help of this arithmetical calculation, or you can say the smartness of department, now your tax will be 5,25,000. So we still not taxed your agricultural income, but still we take the benefit of extra tax, 1,12,500. This is the extra tax what we collect without even taxable the agriculture. So in the
But
examination, yes,
सर इनडायरेक्टली तो हम फार्म को टैक्स कर ही रहे हैं.
correct. Indirectly. That's the smartness of income tax. Na? Income tax is a very smart act. So technically, if somebody will say, okay, you need to tax this income like this. So department say, no, due to this, we will have loss. But technically, हम taxable नहीं कर रहे. हम practically taxable कर रहे हैं. Technically, you cannot say that we taxed it. Technically, we'll say, no, the income was 30 lakh. We calculate the tax on it. And we deduct the tax of agriculture income. So what is the net taxability of tax? That would be non-agriculture income tax liability. Why it is happening? Because of slab rate. In the step 1, when we tax this agriculture income, then the tax rate apply almost 30% on it. So the tax of this 10 lakh has been included at the rate of 30%. Clear? And when we deduct the tax of it, then the tax is on some part of 10 lakh is 5% and some part of tax is 20%. So it would be possible only due to this slab rate concept. That's why this concept is not applicable in case of partnership firm, in case of LLP, in case of company. Why? Because their tax rate is 30%, no slab rate. If you try to solve this question for a partnership firm, then tax would be same. Whether you calculate this tax like this or you need to calculate tax like this because there is no slab rate. So if you want to understand why it is happening, then it's simple mathematics because we taxed in step number 1 with higher rate 30% on this 10 lakh. And when the deduction of tax was concerned, then the tax has been calculated on this 10 lakh rupees, some portion tax at the rate of 5% and some portion is taxed at the rate of 20%. So that is the beauty of integration with non-agricultural, and the provision says it is not applicable on partnership firm, company, LLP, etc. Technically, they cannot apply this on those person. Why? Because in that circumstances, there would be no effect. If you try to solve this question on a partnership firm, you will see in the both case, the tax would be same. In the examination, you need not to solve this part. You do not need to show this it will be like this if integration was not there, and it would be like this if integration would be there. You just need to solve the tax like this. I have just explained you to tell you what is exactly integration, why it has been imposed. Because if we try to collect tax like this, then there will be less collection of tax, and by this method we can charge high tax even without technically saying that we tax the agriculture. Fine. That was a very interesting provision. Now we will discuss this provision. So basic agriculture income definition, you must have gone through already. What is the meaning of agricultural income, farm building income, any operation carrying on land for any agricultural purpose, that is your agricultural income. Income from nursery business, your agricultural income. What are the conditions from farm building? It should be in rural area. What is the meaning of rural area, urban area? That has been discussed with the normal class, of course. There is example also. Agriculture income, that was composite business, that those business having agricultural as well as non-agricultural element. Like if we decided to produce sugarcane and then we will manufacture sugar out of it. So the operations till the production of sugarcane would be called agricultural income completely. And any process which has been carried out after the production to make them fit for market to produce sugar or to manufacture sugar, that process would be technically called non-agricultural operations. But whatever revenue we will generate after selling of that sugar, a certain part of that revenue would be treated as agricultural income and the other part would be treated as a non-agricultural. How we will find that portion, that is also going to discuss under these provisions. If you have any query, you can ask. Agriculture integration question मैं कराऊंगा आपको, Priyanka Pandey, of course we will do that, do not worry. We have a lot of provisions for agricultural income in our next in some time, of course. Sir, I confused which slab applied in exam, current budget slab or given in module, of course, which has been given in module. Why you are confused? I guess you did not watch the last session, yesterday's session. See, Aparna ma'am has elaborated in detail that which finance act is applicable. So whatever is the current budget, that is not applicable for you. We are following the budget 2023, which is for assessment year 24-25. Okay. So when surcharge will applicable, then rebate will not applicable, of course, because rebate would be end up to rupees 5 lakh or 7 lakh 57 lakh rupees software, and surcharge would start from 50 lakh rupees at least. So these are mutually exclusive event. Either surcharge will be applicable or rebate could be applicable. So do we need to learn agricultural? What is this kind of question? What do you mean by that? Do we need to learn agriculture? Anmol, I am not getting what exactly you want to ask. Yes, sir, 4% will be calculated. Yes, the higher education says and the health says. It is always going to calculate after everything else. So after integration provision, it will be calculated. Do not worry. I will solve a question, one or two question of integration. So you can see when we need to apply these cess provision. Okay. Explain agriculture provisions again. Sangeeta is asking. Sangeeta ji, already the normal classes has been uploaded earlier of this batch, which has been explained full agricultural income provision. These are revisionary batches. You can go in the playlist on the YouTube channel. You can find out the normal lecture in which it has been explained in detail by the other faculty. You can go through that chapter. Okay. किरण मिश्रा कह रही हैं इंटीग्रेशन एग्रीकल्चर अगेन समझाइए। देखो इंटीग्रेशन किरण है क्या कि हमारी अगर ऐसा कोई फार्मर है जिसकी एग्रीकल्चर इनकम भी है और नॉन एग्रीकल्चर इनकम भी है, तो अगर वो दोनों इनकम कमाता है तो उस केस में उसे टैक्स लगाने का एक नया कंसेप्ट है जिसे हम इंटीग्रेशन प्रोविजन कहते हैं। उसका स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजन है, अभी मैं उसकी कंडीशन भी पढ़ाऊंगा और हम उसका अभी कंसेप्ट भी समझाएंगे। अभी मैंने सिर्फ ये बताया है कि इंटीग्रेशन क्यों बनाया गया, उससे फर्क क्या पड़ता है। एग्जाम में हमें सिर्फ करना है कैसे सॉल्व करना है वो क्वेश्चन, वो पार्ट अभी हम डिस्कस करेंगे। ओके ओके, ऑल
Sir,
क्वेरीज यस।
sir, sir, if I am having a agricultural land in out of India and I'm bringing the money to India, will it be taxed as agricultural or otherwise?
देखिए agriculture income definition says if you having any agricultural operation or any agricultural land which is situated in India, the first line says the answer of your question. So any agriculture income will be treated as agriculture income only on those land which are situated in India. So if you have any agriculture income outside India, that would be a normal income that could be taxable if you brought that income into India. But it will depend upon your residential status. If you are an ordinary resident, then it would be taxable. But your question was whether it will be an agriculture income. The answer is no. So if you are doing any kind of agricultural operation, but if they are outside India, they would not be called agricultural income in India. Okay. Okay, somebody's asking, sorry, sir, I want to ask if we need to learn agriculture income definition. Of course, yes. If you are not going to learn the meaning of agriculture income, the definition of agriculture income, then how you will find out in a question that whether this income is agricultural income or not? The question is not supposed to give you that this is agriculture income, calculate tax. They might give you this is nursery operation income. Then you have to know that whether nursery business is agriculture income or not. So that for that purpose, you have to learn the definition, the meaning, and the concept also. So integration provision same for both regime. Yes, of course, the concept is same, the process is same. Of course, when you are talking about calculation of tax under section 15 BAC, then we will apply the rate as per BAC and the rebate and the surcharge. And under optional scheme, we'll solve it in that manner. I will solve a question with both way of for integration provision after some time in this class. Okay, but the provision is integration same under both regime. Any more query till now? Okay. So we will go further now the exact provisions of integration because it's a very interesting provision. And it generally happens when you solve a questions of total income and tax liability, a complete question. And if there is a provisions of integration of agriculture income or the question has been given agriculture income, it would be really difficult to solve until otherwise you know the exact provision that how you need to implement the provision. Okay. So let's move on to the integration provision. So I have just explained you the composite business. These are the provision you must have gone through with the normal class. Okay. So we are not going to discuss these again. That will kill our time, what we are already short of time. Now, integration of agriculture income with non-agricultural income. So these are the conditions to be satisfied. Now I will ask you a question. The condition 1 says applicable only for individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJ. Tell me why. Why this is only applicable for individual, HUF, AOP, BOI or AJP? Why it is only applicable? Only this integration you need to apply in case of individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Why? Kirat is saying something. Anyone else? Yes, Om Krishnan Gupta is also correct. Good, Kamalpreet. Because this concept can also can only be applicable if you have slab rate system. Why? Because in the slab rate only it will happen that it would be taxable with higher rate. And when we need to deduct the tax of it, it would be taxable with lower rate. So when there is rate having no slab rate with a fixed rate like 30%, 40%, 50%, then this provision automatically having no use. Even if you try to apply it, the tax would be same. So they are just trying to say you that it is applicable for individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. You say no, try to applicable this on everything. So they cannot apply. It would not apply. Fine. That's why it is only applicable in case of individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Second condition is it will be applicable if your agricultural income must exceed 5,000 rupees. These conditions are same for both regime. Okay. So applicable only slab rate person. Agriculture income at least should exceed 5,000 rupees. एग्रीकल्चर इनकम 5,000 रुपए से ज्यादा होनी चाहिए. ये सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल एचयूएफ के लिए एप्लीकेबल है. एंड द थर्ड कंडीशन विच सेज योर नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल इनकम, whatever is your non-agricultural is given question, that should at least exceed the basic exemption limit. So in case of 115 BAC, at least your non-agricultural should exceed 3 lakh. And for optional regime, it should exceed 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh or 5 lakh as the case. So if these three conditions has been fulfilled, then we will find out how integration provision work. These are the steps you have to follow to find out how it will work. Step 1, if all of the above conditions are satisfied, then integration will be done as follows. Step 1 says computation of tax on total income, including agricultural income. I have explained you just need to calculate normal tax, assuming that agricultural income is also a taxable income. So if agriculture income is 5 lakh given in question and 15 lakh is your non-agriculture income, then calculate tax on 20 lakh rupees income with normal provision, whether it's 115 BAC or whether it's optional tax regime, you have to calculate with normal slab rates. First point. Second, now step 2 says now calculate tax on agricultural income plus the maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax. That means that exemption limit. Suppose the question relate to the optional tax regime and the age is more than 60 years, then agriculture income plus 3 lakh. Now calculate tax on that income. Agriculture income plus 3 lakh. Suppose agriculture income is 5 lakh. Then you have to calculate tax on 5 lakh and 3 lakh. That means now calculate tax supposing you have 8 lakh rupees taxable income. Out of that 8 lakh, 3 lakh will be exempted. Balance is 5%, balance is 20% normal provision. So suppose your agriculture income is 5, normal income is 15. So step 1 say do one thing, calculate tax on 20 lakh rupees income. Then suppose the person is senior citizen, then this will be 3 lakh, agriculture is 5. Now calculate tax on 8 lakh rupees income. Provision solved. 1 minus 2 is your third step. Whatever the tax of first point, deduct the second point tax. Balance is your tax. Clear? Now rebate 87A will be applied after applying step 1 and 2 provision. You would not apply the rebate concept. The rebate would be applicable after this step number 3. And rebate will be depend upon your non-agricultural value income. Suppose your agriculture income is 10 lakh. We are talking about under optional tax scheme. Your agriculture income is 10 lakh and your non-agriculture income is 4,50,000. Then step 1 says you need to calculate tax on 14,50,000. Step number 2 says you need to calculate tax on agricultural. Suppose 2.5 lakh exemption limit is applicable on 12.50 lakh. Tax on 14.5, tax on 12.5. 1 minus 2 is this. Now you need to decide whether rebate will be there or not. So for the purpose of rebate, this agriculture income does not exist. We will take only this. Yes, it is less than 5 lakh. So we can claim the rebate now. So rebate would be applicable or not. It will depend upon this non-agriculture income and it will be provided after this step number 1 and 2. Do not worry how it's going to be applicable. I will show you. With the help of an example, when we solve this example, you understand how to solve it. Okay. So this is the note which describes the provision regarding rebate. Step number 1 and step number 2 tax calculation without rebate under section 87A of 12,500 or 25,000. And rebate of 12,500 or 25,000 will be available after step 3 tax liability if the normal total income, normal total that means non-agricultural, is up to 5 lakh under optional scheme or up to 7 lakh rupees under 115 BAC. But under 115 BAC, remember, rebate could be applicable up to total income is 7,27,780. After even exceeding 7 lakh rupees, there could be that rebate which is equivalent to margin relief. We just explained in today's class. So if you saw that if there is a question of 115 BAC and the total income is exceeding 7 lakh, 7,10,000 suppose. So you imagine that there would be no rebate. Please do not do that. Up to approximate, this is the limit I have calculated. That is not a limit which has been specified in any act or study material. I have calculated my own that approximate at this level, rebate could be applicable. After 7,28,000, etc., this rebate has no meaning because the B would not be exceeding the A. B would be less than A, which is the main condition for providing this rebate. So it's very important thing to understand that if under section 15 BAC, the amount has been given 7,10,000. And you might be thinking, okay, no rebate will be applicable because exceeding 7 lakhs. So do not think that up to almost 7,27,780 rupees, the rebate could be applicable. So this is a very interesting advice from my side. Please read these provisions very carefully. They are very interesting and it could make your question correct or incorrect in the examination. So that was the rebate concept. Now the composite business, we have different kind of composite business percentage. If you are running a rubber business, then whatever profit you are earning from that income, 35% would be your non-agricultural, 65% would be your agricultural. We will solve this question, do not worry. If you are running coffee bean business, then 25% would be your non-agricultural income and 75% would be your agriculture. And if it is coffee, roasted coffee or tea, then the percentage is 40 and 60. All lower percentage are non-agricultural, higher percentages are agricultural. Okay, so if you remember that the percentage was 25 and 75, but you forgot whether 75 is agricultural or 25. Always remember higher values are always agricultural. For any other business, this is very interesting. This is what I want to discuss with you. For any other business, except these four, rubber, coffee beans, coffee roasted and tea, For any other business, we do not have any percentage. In that case, we have to find out the profit from agriculture operations separately and profit from non-agriculture operations separately. That is rule number 7. How we will do that? Like the example we were discussing. हम discuss कर रहे थे ना example sugar cane का, that if we produce sugar cane and after that we process them and manufacture sugar and ultimately finished goods which is going to be sale in the market will be the sugar. So whatever will be the profit that is comprising the agriculture activity till the production of sugarcane, and after that the process by which we are getting our output, our finished good, that is sugar. So that profit comprise both activities. So in that situation, we do not have any percentage like this. We have only percentage for 4 products. So in that, all other cases in which activities, agricultural as well as non-agricultural there, but there is no percentage has been given. In that case, we have to find out with the help of this provision, agricultural and non-agricultural income separately. What we need to do, it's very simple. We have to prepare 2 profit and loss, or we can say trading and profit and loss account. Okay. So we will prepare trading and P&L account separately for both activities. One is for agriculture activities, one is for non-agricultural activities. This is agricultural, this is not. And it's very simple. We are a commerce student. This is very, very, very simple. So this is the question has been given. Cost of cultivation of sugarcane is 10 lakh rupees. Now what you need to do, first of all, prepare the format of 2 profit and trading account. One is agricultural, one is non-agricultural. Okay. Before reading the question, you can do that. Then start reading the question. Whatever activity belongs to agricultural, we will write it down over here. Whatever activity will be belongs to here, we will write it down in this profit and loss. So there is a very interesting trick to maintain or to prepare these accounts. When you calculate profit of agricultural operation with the help of this trading and P&L account, assume that he is 100% involved in farming activity only. Forget the non-agricultural part. Suppose he is 100% farmer in this business. That means he's just producing the sugarcane and he's going to sell the sugarcane in the market. He does not have any association to produce sugar. So just assume that he is a farmer only and he does not undertake any non-agricultural activity. He's just going to produce that agricultural produce and going to sell that product in the market. And when you prepare this profit and loss account, now assume he's a proper businessman. He does not have any agricultural activity at all. Now assume he purchased sugarcane from the market into his factory, process them, and manufacture sugar. So this is a very simple trick to prepare these 2 trading and P&L account. Whenever you are preparing this agricultural income P&L, assume you are a farmer only. You are just going to produce the agricultural product and going to sell that in the market. And when you are going to prepare this profit and loss account, you just imagine yourself as a pure hardcore businessman. So if you need to produce sugar and you are not a farmer, then you need to purchase it. So now you are a buyer of sugarcane and you process it in your factory and produce sugar and sell it. Okay. So now, first of all, we are preparing this one. So we will only take from this example those activity which is just to produce sugarcane and able to sell into that market. So whether cost of cultivation of sugarcane is the part of agricultural activity or not? Of course, it's a agricultural activity part. So cost of cultivation, 10 lakh rupees. Clear? Now processing cost 1 lakh 15 lakh rupees. So processing cost is not the part of agricultural activity, it's a part of manufacturing. So we will skip it for the purpose of this period. Now sale of sugar. Sugar sale is the part of this P&L. We will skip this information. FMV of sugarcane. That means he practically does not sell sugarcane in the market. Generally, he produce and manufacture sugar and sell it. But the question says, if he sell that sugarcane he produced, then the market value is 25. And what we are assuming ourselves in this part, that we are a farmer, we produce sugarcane and we are going to sell it. So now we will take FMV over here as our sale price. If we would have sold that sugarcane, so that would be 25. So difference would be my net profit, that is 15 lakh. This is my agricultural income. Clear? Now this part has been solved. We have now our agricultural income. Now we'll move on to this part. So cost of cultivation would not have the part of this part because we are not a farmer. Processing cost is the part of this P&L or trading. What we will process the sugarcane and we are not cultivating it. So we need to purchase it from the market. So if I am a non-agricultural person, then I have to purchase, and what is the purchase price? What price is treated as sale in the hands of this agricultural activity or purpose, that exactly is going to be treated as the purchase cost when we calculate the non-agricultural term. In all question, whatever will be the FMV, which is going to be treated as sale there, is going to be treated as purchase over. Clear? And then the sale of sugar. The value which has been given in question is 50 lakh. So now my net profit is 10 lakh rupees, which is non-agricultural. So for except these three business, we have to calculate our agricultural and non-agriculture in this way. Now very interesting, you can see agriculture income is 15 lakh and non-agriculture is 10 lakh. If somebody is going to ask you to calculate the tax, then again integration provision will be applicable if it is a question of individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Because our agriculture income exceeding 5,000, non-agriculture income exceeding the basic exemption limit. So if you would have asked to calculate the tax, then that integration concept need to be applicable. Generally what happens in these kind of questions, when in the examination, the examiner asks you to calculate tax. So we generally forget the provision of integration. We say, okay, this is exempted. Now calculate tax on this. So if we are doing this, maybe you need to give the next attempt. So please be focused, understand the question, and then try to solve. Okay. So now we will move on to the question parts, the study material question, the test your knowledge question, and the MCQ also. First of all, we will discuss the MCQ part. Okay. Or we could go for the study material question also. Fine. So study material pehle kar lete hain. Then MCQ we will do in last. So the important MCQ, the study material question, which is related to integration or agricultural income, or what I feel that we should discuss once, that is only going to be discussed as a test knowledge question or other part. What I am just skipping questions, those are very simple, like about the definition, etc., that you can easily find out. So first is on 1.39 page, that is for agricultural income. Page number 1.39, where it is. Okay, this is. Now you can see Mr. B grows sugarcane. Now, first of all, you need to tell me this question relates to either those three business having specific percentage or not. So Mr. B grows sugarcane. and use the same for the purpose of manufacturing sugar in his factory. 30% of sugarcane produced is sold for 10 lakh rupees. And the cost of cultivation of sugarcane is rupees 5 lakh. The cost of cultivation of the balanced sugarcane is 70%. Okay, my pen is not working with this, so we will open the Word file for this purpose. This is my Word file. Just a second. What's this? Just a second. I'm just opening the Word file, so my touchpad pen will work on it. So now page number 1.39. Illustration number 1. Okay, that was the illustration we were discussing. So Mr. B grows sugarcane and use the same for the purpose of change the color. For the purpose of manufacturing sugar in his factory, 30% of sugarcane produced is sold for rupees 10 lakh. And the cost of cultivation of such sugarcane is 5 lakh. So sugarcane does not include in those specific businesses. Clear? So because there is no specific business, most of you have given the correct answer. Well done, of course. So that's why we are going to solve it with the help of preparing two trading and profit and loss account. Fine. So whenever you are preparing a trading and P&L account as agricultural, assume yourself as a farmer. Suppose you are a farmer. You do not know any non-agricultural activities. Okay. So for the purpose of agriculture activity, 30% of sugarcane is sold for rupees 10 lakh. Okay. Sold. Now this question is multiple provision. 30% of sugarcane produces sold for 10 lakh because the question says a farmer who is producing sugarcane, his 30% sale is as a sugarcane, balance 70% sugarcane utilized to produce sugar. So his 30% activity is completely agricultural activity and his 70% activities is partial agricultural, partial non-agricultural. Fine. So this 30% of his sugarcane produces sold for rupees 10 lakh and the cost of cultivation for these sugarcane was 5 lakh. Simple. The same way we solved the last example. The cost of cultivation of balance sugarcane 70% is 14 lakh. Okay. And the market value of the same. So for these sugarcane for which he is going to produce sugar, we will take the FMVS selling price, which is 22 lakh. After incurring processing cost, he sold that sugar for 25 lakhs. So now we will have our agricultural income. You can solve it. 32. So this would be our 13 lakh rupees agricultural income. Now for non-agricultural activities, I told you that this FME will become the purchase. The processing cost has been given 1.5 lakh and the selling price of sugar is given 25. So that net profit is 1.5 lakh rupees. So that is my non-agricultural income. So now suppose in this case, they are asking you to calculate tax. Now integration provision will be applicable or not? Give me your answer in the chat box. If this is a question of Mr. A who is resident in India, age 45 years, and I ask you to calculate tax on this in this question, then whether it is a question for which integration provision will be applicable or not, and why, you need to tell me the reason also. These trading and P&L will be on rough. No, you can make it on fair, of course, presentation or as a working note. You do not need to solve it as a rough part. I'm just trying to tell you the best way to solve this question. If you'll follow the format which has been given over here, it might be going to confuse you. But if you are going to solve with the help of two separate trading P&L, it will really going to be very easy. Okay, so Om Krishnan Gupta is saying no because agriculture, non-agriculture does not exceed the exemption limit. Well done, everyone. High five from Wi-Fi. Well done. Correct. So in this question, the integration provision would not be applicable because non-agriculture income is less than 2.5. Correct. Now illustration number 2. This is our illustration number 2, and it says Mr. C manufactured latex from the rubber plant. Now it belongs to the rubber provision, right? And we have the specific percentage for this kind of business. And these are sold in the market for 30 lakh. The cost of growing rubber plant is 10 lakh and that of manufacturing latex is 8 lakh. Now for those business for which we have a specific percentage has been given. Specific percentage has been given. You do not need to maintain two trading and profit and loss account. You can comprise all activity in the same trading and P&L to get the answer. Now the sale price is 30. I would write it over here. The cost of cultivation is 10. The manufacturing expenses is 8. So it will be 18. Net profit is 12. I have to apply the percentage, that is 65% agricultural, 35% non-agricultural. Here is your answer. You will clear your examination and become a chartered accountant. Okay. So this is illustration 1 and 2. Now moving on to our illustration number 3, which is on page number 1.56 of your study material. That is a simple question. We are not going to discuss it because that is a calculation of tax, which we already have been discussed in our last class. Multiple question. That is a normal question. From 16 lakh, you have to calculate tax. That would have been discussed in your normal class also. Okay. So illustration 4 is also easy. Illustration 5 is regarding the marginally question, what we have already discussed in our last class. Illustration 6, we have not going to discuss. It's all about marginally. I am going to discuss with you. Test your knowledge question. Then we will move on to our MCQs. Okay. Under those MCQ, we will discuss the integration provision. Do not worry. Okay. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is like very simple. Question number 6. That is again rubber business. Just the kind of question we just discussed about the latex. It is exactly the same. 7th is again the same question regarding the coffee. Question number 8 is very interesting. Let me see if you can answer it without seeing the answer from your study material. The Jain HUF in Assam comprises of Mr. Suresh Jain, his wife Mrs. Sapna Jain, his son Mr. Sarthak Jain, his daughter-in-law Mrs. Preeti Jain, his daughter Miss Seema Jain, and his unmarried brother Mr. Preetam Jain. So we have 1, wife, etc. Which of the members of the HUF are eligible for co-partnering right? You have to answer this only. So you have time for 1 minute. Give me the answer. In this question, who can have the co-partnering right? We have Mr. Suresh Jain, 1, Mrs. Sapna Jain, Sarthak Jain, 3, 4, 5, 6 people there. So out of those 6 persons who have co-partnering right, you have to answer it. Let me see. Yes, Ritu is asking, sir, can we solve with this trading account method examination? Yes, you can do it. Not an issue. No one is co-partner. Priyanka Pandey is saying. Okay. Anyone else? Son, daughter, and brother Komalpreet Kaur is saying. Very well. Very good. Priyanka Pandey is saying because it is in Assam. Okay. This is Mr. Preetham and Mr. Suresh. Deepa is saying. Okay. Manish is saying Suresh Jain and his unmarried brother. Okay. Swati B. Jain is saying Preetham Jain is co-partner except Preeti Jain. Any elder with male or female? Shoaib saying. Very good, very good, very good. I'm really appreciating your answers. Okay, next is in Preetham. Ayushi is saying Preetham. अच्छा आयुषी बताइए प्रीतम क्यों अनम्यूट कीजिए खुद को जरा बताइए प्रीतम क्यों वाई प्रीतम इसको पार्टनर
हाँ सर, क्योंकि ये वेस्ट बंगाल में वो दया बागा सिस्टम होता है, और वहां पे जो फैमिली मेंबर होता है वहाँ वो जस्ट बिकॉज वो सन है या डॉटर है तो ऐसे ही उन्हें को पार्टनर का राइट नहीं मिल जाता, उन्हें पहले से ही होना पड़ता है।
ओके तो एक बात बताइए आयुषी सिर्फ प्रीतम होगा ओनली वन योर को पार्टनर ओनली
नो
प्रीतम
नो, प्रीतम एंड सुरेश दे बोथ विल बी को पार्टनर्स, बट यहाँ पे तुझे
सही कह रहे हो सही कह रहे हो सही कह रहे हो वेल डन वेल सेड
हाँ।
वेल so student please read the question carefully look this is basic concept chapter 1 I told you and we generally ignore theoretical provision okay fine this is theoretical provision not that important but HUF is a very important provision under basic concept HUF provisions definitions are important and for HUF this point is very important because under Assam and West Bengal Daya Bhaga is applicable and the Daya Bhaga rule is that until father expire, the son and daughter could not get any co-partnery right. And you can see in this question, there are two brothers, Mr. Suresh and Preetham is there. So only they both are eligible for that co-partnery right. And nobody else can have the co-partnery right. So those are giving the answer of Mr. Suresh and brother is correct. Very well done. Those are giving the wrong answer. Again, very well done because you are trying. And whenever you try, you get success later or sooner. So trying is the first step to be a successful person in a life, or you could have a successful career in your life, etc. So trying is very important. Okay. वो कहते हैं ना कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती etc. Fine. So okay. अब suppose if this is not in Assam. Suppose this is Delhi. This question belongs to Delhi. Now tell me who are the co-partner in this family. Or you can tell me who are not the co-partner in this family. So Yogadhar is saying son, daughter, co-partner, daughter-in-law. Okay, fine. Whatever answer you are giving, kindly write that whether you are giving answer of co-partner or not a co-partner. Okay. So either tell me who are going to be co-partner or just tell me who are going to be non-co-partner. Okay, Priyanka is saying Preetham wife and son and unmarried daughter were co-partner. Priyanka Pandey. Okay, अगर आप हैं तो please tell me what Mitakshara school says. Who could be a co-partner under Mitakshara School of Law? If you know the answer, kindly explain. Do not hesitate in giving the answer, please. This is for your benefit because your answer is wrong. I just want to know what provision, what is the actually process which is saying that you are going to say that Preetham, wife and son and unmarried daughter were co-partner. This is very abstract answer actually. So Priyanka is there? I don't think so. Okay, Manish Magotra is saying Mrs. Preeti Jain is not a co-partner. Only Mrs. Preeti Jain is not a co-partner. Everyone else is co-partner, Mr. Manish. Why?
Hello,
Manish?
sir.
So yeah,
So why Mrs. Sapna is co-partner? You are saying Mrs. Preeti Jain is not a co-partner. But why Mrs. Sapna is co-partner? What is the meaning of co-partner under Mitakshara School of Law? Okay. Who can be a co-partner in Mitakshara School of Law?
as per my understanding, so I mean, Mr. Suresh Jain, his wife, Mrs. Sapna Jain, and his family, his immediate family, his wife and his son and daughter, and unmarried brother would be co-partners, and not the daughter-in-law.
The co-partner definition of Mitakshara says those have attained that co-partnery right by birth in the family can be only the co-partner. So Mrs. Sapna, who is the wife of Suresh Jain, does not get birth in the family. She could only be the member of that family. She could not be the co-partner. Same as in case of Preeti Jain. So those female who is like a daughter-in-law or mother or our grandmother, etc., those does not born in our family, so they cannot be having co-partnery right in Mitakshara School of Law. So let me correct your answer. It's Mrs. Preeti Jain and Mrs. Sapna Jain. They both cannot be the co-partner. Okay, clear? Okay. Wife and daughter-in-law cannot be. Komalpreet, well done. Again, Anmol was saying not accept Preeti. No, accept Preeti and accept Sapna. Okay. So a lot of students have given the answers. Well done. It's really good to see that you are actually in the class and focus in this class. Very well done. Okay. Next is compute the tax liability under default tax regime. Mr. Kashyap, having a total income of 51,75,000 rupees for the assessment year 24-25. I guess ये आप लोग solve कर ही लेंगे. Simple question है, कहो तो मैं solve करा दूं. इसमें MR applicable नहीं होगा. If you'll apply the MR provision, so the difference of income would be higher against the difference of tax. So there would be no margin relief applicability. The solution has been given, of course, after these questions. Now, Mr. Agarwal, aged 40 years and a resident in India, has a total income of 6 crore 50 lakh, comprising long-term capital gain taxable under section 112 of 55 lakh. 112 is going to be taxable at a rate of 20%. You must have gone through under capital gain chapter that is going to be taxable at the rate of 20%. As short term and going to be taxable under section 111A at the rate of 65 lakh, which was with the rate of 15%. Clear? And the balance 5 crore 30 lakh rupees is normal income, that is other than that income. So now we have to calculate the tax under the both regime. So this question, I'm going to solve it for all of you. And I will ask the surcharge rate. I will ask the provision. So it's good if you are able to give me the answer, and I'm going to solve this question for you. We have income of, and the age was, just a minute, age was 40 years. Okay. So you would have a better idea how to apply surcharge, etc. So that was question number 10 of your study material. And we have income of 6 crore 50 lakh rupees. So he's a resident, age 40 year, in total income is 6 crore 50 lakh rupees, out of which long term we have to calculate. Long term is 55 lakh rupees. under section 112 and short term under section 11A was 65. The tax rate on this is 20% under both the regime, there is no difference, and this is 15% under both the regime, there is no difference. So that will be 11 lakh. And this would be 9,75,000. So tax of this special category of income in aggregate will be 20,75,000. This is going to affect our surcharge rate. The balance is your other income, which would be 5 crore and 30 lakh. Now we have to calculate the tax under both regimes. So this is our default tax regime. This is our optional tax regime. After this example, we will go for a break. Then we will resume with our MCQ questions. Okay. So under default tax regime, the tax would be remain the same, that is 20,75,000 on the special category. I have already solved this question. Okay. To save our time. And the tax on 5 crore 30 lakh would be this. Now tell me what would be the surcharge rate in this and in this income. So you need to tell me the surcharge rate in this situation on a special category of rate of tax and on other income category of rate of tax. I have explained you the surcharge rate today also again, because I wanted that you should remember or you can recall the provision correctly. So what would be the surcharge rate should be applicable on these tax rate? Okay, Anmol is saying, sir, can you please tell the rate on special income in short? Anmol, that is not possible because there are multiple special rate and they have multiple provision. Like then I need to tell you the casual income rate also, how to calculate tax also. Do not worry, there will be a revisionary class of chapter 9, computation of total income and tax. And I believe I would be there to tell you the rate and how to apply for calculation of tax with the AMT provision, etc., etc. Okay, so the answer is coming over here. Ishan is saying 15% and 25%. Priyanka, no, wrong. 10% is wrong answer, of course. 25% on other income and 15% of special income. Correct. So on a special rate, you can go through the chart and understand why I'm applying these rate. 15% surcharge and this would be 25% surcharge. Because 15 BAC, if it would have normal scheme, then above 5 crore, that will be 37%. Okay. So that surcharge will be 311,250. 390,000. Total tax including surcharge would be 218,86250. And then 4% cess. Go on. Fine. I'm just here to explain the correct surcharge rate and how to apply them. Now, under optional tax regime, the tax would be same for a special category of income. For other income, the tax would be as per slab rate will be 15712,500. Now, surcharge rate will be 15% over here. It is just going to change over here. That would be 37%. So under 115 BAC, where the surcharge rate is 25%, that could be changed into the optional tax regime into 37% if your income exceeding 5 crore. 311,250, and this would be 5813625. So my tax would be 23912,375 and then 4% tax. Fine. So it will go like this. I hope it's clear. Okay, well done. So we have just completed the test your knowledge questions. I guess the other test your knowledge questions are exactly the same, having some income and need to calculate the tax on it. So now we will move on to our MCQ part after a short break. So Mr. Bhargav, can we go for a short break of 5 minutes? Then we'll resume. Welcome back, everyone. I believe you must have your tea, coffee, water, etc. to charge yourself. So we were discussing the provision of tax rates, surcharge, etc. We just discussed the illustration and test your knowledge question. Then we will move on to now our MCQ part. So if there's any query, you can ask me. Else we will move on for MCQ, and in MCQ, I am going to ask, of course, we are going to interact with each other. I will ask the answer and of course the reason behind it. Okay. Shoaib is asking a story after the break. Shoaib, that story part is for normal classes, not for revisionary classes. So I believe that you must have taken my the normal classes. So there were always a story after the break, but that would not be possible for revisionary classes because we are short of time. Okay. Okay, that's our charge part, question, etc. We are going to discuss with the help of our MCQs. So we'll start with some simple MCQs, and then if they are going on, you will find out the integration question also and other numerical part also. So we have 22 MCQs and we need to finish it within time, of course. So this is now the moment of truth, that is Sach ka Samna. Your question number 1 over here. So a person who is accessible in respect of income of some other person is called what? Om Krishnan Gupta is saying, yes, sir, those stories were awesome. Okay, so you were the part of that normal batch also. Thanks for the appreciation, Mr. Om. Okay, so let me see the answers. A person who is accessible in respect of income of some other person is called. Vikas is saying A, assessee. Satya Gupta is saying assessee in default. Sorry, he's saying deemed assessee. Priyanka Kumari is calling it assessee. Somebody is saying deemed assessee. So I have answer of option A and D. A and D. Okay. So the correct answer is D, that is called deemed assessee. So if a person is accessible in the respect of income of some other person, he or she would call deemed assessee. Like in case of minor, their parents are called deemed assessee, etc. Mr. Kishore has made investment of 10 lakh, but shows in income tax return income rupees 8 lakh. Balance 2 lakh can be treated as. What would be the answer of MCQ number 2? The correct answer would be. Please see the correct answer. What you have sent. It's okay. Some are saying C. Sia is saying B. Okay, Sia Shukla, why it should be B? Why? Why you are saying that in this question, the balance 2 lakh would be B? Why? We have discussed under. Yes, Sia is there.
Yes, sir.
Why your answer is B, Sia?
So because he has not disclosed his income like
But
investment.
but he disclosed his investment not fully in the balance sheet, na? His investment was 10 lakh, but he disclosed at 8 lakh rupees. So balance 2 lakh he does not disclose. So that would be investment not fully disclosed. No? Point number C. Unexplained investment would be if he is not going to disclose anything. Suppose if the investment was 10 lakh and he shows in the return 0, then it would be unexplained investment. But he disclosed that investment at lesser value. So they would be investment not fully disclosed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Next is in case of non-resident shipping business under section 172. Mr. Vinod earned freight rupees 50 lakh. What will be his income to discharge his tax liability under this section? Whenever you give the answer, kindly write the question number also, because you are just writing the option. So I would not know whether it's for question number 2, question number 3, question number 1. Okay. Swati is saying A. Priyanka is saying E. Vikas is saying, I did not understand the question, sir. Because you should go and read the provision of where previous year is treated as assessment year for the purpose of assessing the income. So there are certain cases in which the income is assessed in the previous year in which it is earned. Then you would be able to understand the question. Okay. Vikas, क्या पूछना है? पूछो. That I understood, but so you want to ask something else? Please ask, Vikas, what you want to ask. What is the confusion in the question? विकास पूछना चाहते हैं आप कुछ? ओके. अच्छा. The correct answer is option A. ठीक है. सुनील ने भी बताया आंसर है. सुनील, well done. Sunil, what is the provision? What the provision says? Okay. Can you tell me the provision regarding section 172? और आप हिंदी में बताओ चाहे इंग्लिश में, किस में भी बताओ. Hesitate मत हुई, जिसमें कंफर्टेबल हो उसमें बताओ. What is the provision under section 172? Okay. I will. Okay. Any more answer? Priyanka Pandey is saying, so generally we basic concept chapter 1 we leave while preparation, but after today class I learn a lot of with logic. Thank you for the appreciation. That's why we are here. That's why BOS, ICAI, all the faculties, coordinators, technicians are working for you, just to make you feel better, to make things understand easily. So that will help you in your journey to becoming a CA. Okay. The correct answer was A. And because did not speak about the provisions, the provision says if you are running a non-resident shipping business and comes to India and earn freight income, then before leaving India, you have to pay tax, or you made prescribed arrangement for payment of tax, which would be the income would be treated as 7.5% of the income. Okay. The correct answer was A. Next is, okay, Vikas, write down. Okay. Okay. Will Filmfare Award event fall under section 174? Now, this is an interesting question. Okay. To whomsoever who is going to give me the answer, I will ask the reason behind it. So, Filmfare Award event fall under section 174. That is assessment of AOP, BOI, AJP form for a particular event, whether it's true or false. Very interesting question. Which is saying true. Vikas is saying false. Deepa B. Patil is saying true. Okay, fine. So Deepa, can you tell me why it's true? Why Filmfare Award will fall under section 174A? Deepa? Deepa is not saying anything. Okay, Priyanka, you will answer why it's true? Priyanka Pandey.
Yes, sir. Because सभी लोग एक इवेंट
थोड़ा जोर से बोलो, जोर से. I am not able to listen you. थोड़ा जोर से बोलो प्रियंका.
सर, क्योंकि सभी फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड्स के लिए एक ग्रुप ऑफ एसोसिएशन बनाते हैं, फिर जो अवार्ड इवेंट कंप्लीट हो जाता है फिर उस एसोसिएशन को ब्रेक कर देते हैं।
इस वजह से ये सेक्शन 174A में आता है ना?
यस सर,
कि आप ये कहना
क्योंकि
चाहते
हम एओपी बीओआई और एजेपी में हम एक इवेंट के लिए इसको फॉर्म करते हैं। जैसे हमारा इवेंट या पर्टिकुलर वेंचर कंप्लीट होता है हम इसको डिसॉल्व कर देते हैं।
हैं। फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड पता है आपको क्या होते हैं? सुना है ना, टीवी में देखा होगा।
यस सर, फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड्स देते हैं देन फिर उसका।
करेक्ट, जैसे स्क्रीन अवार्ड आते हैं, जी सिने अवार्ड आते हैं, वैसे फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड है ना। ओके
यस
ओके,
सर।
किरण मिश्रा इज सेइंग ट्रू। ओके, सत्य गुप्ता इज सेइंग फॉल्स। ओके सत्य, यू टेल मी व्हाई इट्स फॉल्स। Satya Gupta is not saying. Vikas is saying it is not formed for a single instance, rather a recurring event. The correct answer is it is false. It is not true. Because film fair award every year होते हैं. जो organization, the organization who held those award, that is not going to be dissolved. So that organization is still working every year, like IPL. IPL, it's kind of an event for which actually work for 2.5 months, and the BCCI is the organization who actually start that event. But is BCCI dissolved after that IPL? No. In the same way, the organization, the Z Cine Award, the organization actually organize these event is not going to be dissolved. So section 174A talks about only those organizations for which AOP, BOI, AGP has been formed and going to be dissolved. But for Filmfare, for IPL, for Z Cine Award, etc., the organization does not dissolve. This is a recurring nature event which is going to be held every year. So these will not fall under category B. Okay.
सर इसको सीजनल अवार्ड्स, सीजनल वर्क की तरह ट्रीट करेंगे क्या?
It's not a seasonal work because जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फिल्म फेयर ऑर्गेनाइज कराती है वो और भी काम करती रहती है, बट आप कह सकते हैं उसका ये जो इवेंट है फिल्म फेयर, उसका एक ऐसा इवेंट है जो हर साल ऑर्गेनाइज करा जाता है। 174A में ये नहीं पता होता कि दोबारा कब ऑर्गेनाइज होगा। लाइक मिस इंडिया इवेंट होता है, मिस इंडिया कॉन्टेस्ट
यस
एवरी
सर।
ईयर होता है, एवरी ईयर, ठीक है ना। तो जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन उसे कराती है स्टार्ट, वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डिसॉल्व नहीं होती। वो एक साल बाद फिर से इवेंट होगा, वो हर साल होता है और होता रहता है। तो 174 उनके लिए है जिसमें वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ही डिसॉल्व हो जाए। बट फिल्म फेयर, मिस इंडिया कॉन्टेस्ट, आईपीएल इवेंट, इनमें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डिसॉल्व नहीं होती। इसीलिए ये सेक्शन 174A में नहीं, इट्स अ नॉर्मल बिजनेस। वो इसके साथ साथ और भी एक्टिविटीज करते रहते हैं पूरे साल। तो इसीलिए इस इवेंट को आप 174A का पार्ट नहीं मान सकते। ओके,
ओके सर, अब समझ आ गया। थैंक यू सर।
वेलकम।
सर
यस,
सर अगर ये सिमिलर इवेंट ये बस लास्ट ईयर इनका होने वाला है उसके बाद नहीं होगा तब ये ट्रू हो सकता है?
नहीं, तब ये डिसकंटिन्यू बिजनेस में जाएगा। इसी सेक्शन में लास्ट पॉइंट आता है डिसकंटिन्यू बिजनेस, बिकॉज फिल्म फेयर जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन करा रही है वो उसी साल ऑर्गेनाइज और उस साल डिसॉल्व नहीं हो रही। वो पिछले 50 साल से कराती है। आई गेस 1953 से फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड स्टार्ट हुए थे। अब वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अगर इस साल लास्ट बार कराकर बंद हो रही है तो वो डिसकंटिन्यू बिजनेस के प्रोविजन में जाएगा। अभी इसमें कौन सा आएगा, लेट मी टेल यू। जैसे कोई फॉरेन सिंगर आते हैं, मान ली जस्टिन बीबर आते हैं, मैं उनके लिए एक एओपी बनाता हूं कि उनका एक इवेंट होना है इंडिया में, 4 शो करेंगे इंडिया में, और उसके लिए सिर्फ पर्टिकुलरली एक एओबी, बीओआई या एजेपी फॉर्म करेंगे। उनके इवेंट होने के बाद वो एओपी बीओआई हम बंद कर देंगे, वो एओपी बीओआई कोई और काम नहीं करेगी। दैट वुड बी द केस फॉर सेक्शन 174A। क्लियर?
यस सर, क्लियर।
नेक्स्ट पे चलते हैं। Income includes monetary payments, non-monetary payments, facilities, or D, that is all. It's a very simple question, of course. The correct answer is all.
डी।
D. Very good, very good. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, high five from Wi-Fi. Very good. चलो नेक्स्ट चलते हैं। अभी क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं न्यूमेरिकल वाले, तब देखेंगे कौन कितने कितने आंसर देगा। ओके, इनकम चार्जेबल टू टैक्स आर ग्रॉस रिसिप्ट, नेट रिसिप्ट, कौन सा करेक्ट आंसर? नेट रिसिप्ट। ये सब स्टडी मटेरियल में है भाई, दिस इज ऑल बिलोंग्स टू योर चैप्टर नंबर 1। ऑल आंसर्स बिलोंग टू चैप्टर नंबर 1। Dividend income and CA in practice income is taxable under, what is the correct answer? C, income from other source and PGBP. Mr. Arvind salary, Mr. Arvind Sharma, Ajay Sharma, Adesh Sharma, individual, age 45 years, 65 year, 85 year. Respectively, they all are resident. What will be the minimum amount of income not chargeable to tax under optional scheme? You have to answer. Under optional scheme of tax, which is the correct range would be applicable with for Arvind, Ajay and Adesh Sharma? Very simple.
C.
Yes, the correct answer is C. Well done. Okay. Rebate under section 87 is applicable for only individual resident. Okay.
A answer.
Yes. HUFS now. Okay. Now solve this question and give me the answer in the chat box. HUFS total income 4 lakh. Calculate total tax as per shifting out of section 115 BAC. Take your time and give me the correct answer of question number 10. Write down in the chat box, okay? प्लीज वही बच्चे बोले जिनसे मैं डायरेक्टली पूछूं. आप सब लोग बीच में बोलोगे ना तो फिर समझ नहीं आएगा. बाकी सब आंसर लिखें चैट बॉक्स में. प्लीज क्वेश्चन नंबर जरूर लिखें. जब भी आप आंसर लिखते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर के साथ लिखें. दैट वुड बी रियली इजी फॉर मी. Okay. Somebody is saying C. Satyapriya Nayak is saying B. Priyanka Pandey is saying C. Kiran is saying C. Swati is saying C. Khushi C. Om Krishnan Deepa. Okay. Sia Shukla is saying B. Sia B कैसे होगा? Education cess कौन लगाएगा? You have to apply education
Sir,
cess.
this was of last question, not of this question.
Okay. As the last way. That's what I'm saying. Now, please write it down the question number when you are giving the answer. That will confuse me that which question you are answering. So question number 10, correct answer is, we have given 7,800. The correct answer is option number C. Is anybody gave B? Kiran was given B. So please remember, for the purpose of HUF, rebate would not be applicable. No rebate. You just need to calculate your tax. And you have to apply education cess always. Whenever they are asking for tax, tax means normal tax, apply the rebate provision, that is deduction of course, then surcharge if applicable, then cess, and we need this answer, and that is into multiple of 10 rupees. Surcharge in case of partnership firm, simple question, that is point number B. Now we come to the question parts. Now 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like these questions are really important for you. Calculate marginally. If Mr. Sudeep Jain is an individual, resident, age 43 years, has total income of 40 lakh as per shifting out of section 115 BAC. What is going to be the marginal relief? The correct answer would be D. Why? Because marginally will be applicable when surcharge is there. And surcharge will be there when income is exceeding 50 lakh. So if income is not exceeding 50 lakh, then could be no marginal relief. Okay. Now 13, calculate marginal relief if Mr. Kishore age 51 year, resident, total income is 1 crore 1 lakh rupees as per shifting out of section 115 BAC. So again, that's a normal question. What would be the margin relief in this case? I have told you how to solve it. Shifting out of, you have to calculate as per optional tax regime. First of all, you have to calculate tax on this income. After applying surcharge, this would be 326,875. Then you have to calculate tax on 1 crore rupees. That would be without surcharge. That will be surcharge would be 10%. In this case, surcharge 15%. That would come to 3093750. The difference will be 175125, and over here will be 1 lakh rupees. So difference is 75125. So our MR would be C point. Those are giving the correct answer. Well done. Calculate tax if Mr. Abnish, age 65 year, non-resident. Taxable income is 40 lakh as per shifting out of section 115 BS. You would able to calculate the tax. The correct answer would be this. I want to solve that no integration provision with you. Now, question number 15 is from that part that is talking about the integration part. Now you can see Mr. X, a resident 47 year, has salary income of 7,25,000 and agriculture income of 1 lakh rupees for the previous year. See here, compute his tax liability section under for assessment year 24-25 if he is paying tax under default tax regime under section 115 BS. Now, this was the question I was talking about. It is very nicely drafted. It has been taken from the MTP. So I will solve it for you, but I am giving you 3 or 4 minutes. But please try to solve this question and find out the correct answer. It's a very, very interesting question to understand the concept of integration as well as the rebate, which is in section 115 BAC. Try to calculate and give me the answer. Then I will solve it for you. Okay, 15 ka answer. Swati said it's B. Okay. MTP questions means the question that could be asked in examination. Okay, MTP RTP question. So this is that level of question. Okay, Satya Gupta is also saying B. I am waiting for more answers. Take your time, but please solve correctly. Class is also saying B. Ritu is saying B. Kavita is saying C. Okay. Satyapriya Nayak is saying A. Okay. And Mol is saying A. Very good. Shoaib is saying A. Priyanka Pandey is saying A. And the correct answer is A. This is a very good question. Let me solve this question for you. So, for integration purpose, all the 3 conditions has been fulfilled. 47 year of age, resident, agriculture income exceeding 5,000, non-agriculture exceeding the 3 lakh rupees limit because section 115 BAC is applicable. Now we have to calculate the tax as per the step. Step 1 says you have to calculate tax on non-agricultural income as well as agricultural. So the income would be 8,25,000. So if income is 8,25,000, then what would be the tax that we are going to calculate? That would be 37,000 500 rupees. First step has been done. Now the step 2, I told you that now you have to calculate the agricultural income and the exemption limit which is applicable in the respective case. That would be 3 lakh rupees in this case. Now assume your income is 4 lakh rupees. Clear? Now income is 4 lakh, you have to calculate tax as per the section 115 BAC provision. So tax on 4 lakh would be 5,000. Now step number 1 and 2, that is easy till this level. But now I asked you that you have to find out whether rebate should be applicable or not. And for the purpose of rebate, what we need to check? We need to check the non-agricultural income, which is 7,25,000 rupees. So up to 7 lakh, there is rebate applicability under section 115 BAC, as I told you. 115 BAC में 7 लाख रुपए तक आप रिबेट ले सकते हैं टैक्स की 25,000. लेकिन मुझे एक नया पॉइंट, we have discussed a new point which says that if your income is up to round about 7,28,000, till that you could avail some kind of rebate as per the provision. So now we have to find out the rebate as per the rebate provision. So point 1 was saying that find out the difference, the excess of income over 7 lakh rupees. So excess of income over 7 lakh is 25,000. Now it says calculate tax on the income. So tax on non-agricultural income on 7,25,000. If we calculate tax, that would come 27,500. So now this is B and this is A. And if B is more than A, tax is more than the difference, the income, then the difference, which is 2,500 between tax and income, that would be claimed as a rebate. So now due to this, we will claim, we are eligible to claim rebate of 2,500 rupees. So after that, our income will be 30,000. Now cess will be applicable, that is 1,200, and this 31,200. That is the correct answer.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, for the purpose of calculation of rebate, shouldn't the difference be 1,25,000? That is 825 minus 7 lakh.
For the purpose of rebate, we are taking the difference of income which is over 7 lakh rupees. This one. So the total income is only consider the non-agricultural income. This is the rule that for the purpose of rebate, only non-agricultural will be considered. So for the first point, how I calculate 25,000, that is 7,25,000 minus 7 lakh rupees. This is a fixed process we need to follow. So difference is 25,000. The second point says you have to calculate the tax on non-agricultural income, that is 27,500, and if B exceeding the A, that is 2,500. This is going to be your rebate. Is it clear?
So in this question, if the salary income would have been 6,75,000, what would have been done then?
Then we have 25,000 rebate, full rebate. Up to 7 lakh rebate is applicable. Okay, up to 7 lakh rebate is applicable. This marginal relief concept will be applicable only if your total income exceeding 7 lakh rupees. So if you are saying if my salary income is 6,75,000, then there is no problem. Then whatever is your tax, you can claim the rebate of 25,000 rupees. So directly we can deduct the 25,000 rupees. This provision will applicable only if your income exceeding 7 lakh. In that situation, you have to find out the rebate as per this concept. Otherwise, the rebate would be 25,000 on tax, whichever is lower. So tax is coming 32,500 and tax rebate could be maximum 25,000. So in that case, you can claim the rebate, full rebate 25,000.
Sir, marginal relief for checking we have to do up to 725 only, na sir, or beyond that also we can do.
What you're asking, it is not technically marginal relief. Fine. First of all, it is going to solve just like a marginal relief, but
Okay.
what we are applicable is a rebate. Okay.
Okay, my doubt is we have to go up to which amount to check whether above 7 lakhs amount is eligible for discount or not, that how to find out, sir? That I'm asking.
From exceeding 7 lakh till 7,27,800 rupees, this will be applicable rebate concept. So if
Okay,
your
okay.
income is
That
similarly,
figure determination, how it is to be done? Please tell me.
okay, that you have to do yourself. You have to find it out. But I have approximately it is applicable up to 7,27,800. After that, the B will not be exceeding A. In that situation, there will be no rebate like this.
Okay, okay. If it is 730, how it is not applicable? Can you show the calculation, sir?
If it is what?
730, how it is not applicable? Can you
Okay.
show the calculation?
Let me show you if it's 7,30,000, then what will happen? Just wait.
Please calculation for not applicability of rebate. How can we show it? Please show.
Let me tell you, like if the income has been given 7,30,000. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. So in point number A, my difference would be 30,000.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fine. Now we have to calculate the tax on under point number B on 7,30,000.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what would be the tax under section 115 BAC if income is 730 up to 3 lakh?
25,500, sir.
25
500.
500.
13,000 plus 13,000 plus 15,000, sir. 27,500, sir.
Okay. Now you can see B is not exceeding A in this case. Rebate is applicable when B is exceeding. Now tax should exceed this difference.
This I want to. This
Rebate applicable.
B greater than A, that formula you told, no? That formula I want.
So if the B is not greater than A, then there will be no rebate. So that tax, whatever you are calculating, will be the normal tax which is going to be applicable without any rebate.
So for this criteria is B is not greater than A. B should be less than A.
Yes, if B is greater than A, then rebate will be applied. If B is not greater than A, then rebate concept will be nullified.
That formula I want, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Okay, moving on to our MCQ. This MCQ is clear to everyone?
Sir, I had a doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Here, in this question, sir, we take
Your voice is not clear.
I put it in the chat box.
You should write your query in the chat box because your voice is echo.
सर
जी
सर अगर इसमें सरचार्ज मतलब सरचार्ज का प्रोविजन एप्लीकेबल होगा इंटीग्रेशन में?
हाँ बिल्कुल होगा सरचार्ज. मान लीजिए ये 7 लाख नहीं होता, ये होता 57 लाख. तो फिर जब हम टैक्स निकालते ना यहाँ पर 57 यहाँ लिखते हैं हम 57 लाख 25 प्लस 1 लाख यानी कि 58 लाख 25. So let me show you in a separate sheet so you would be able to understand what surcharge or how surcharge will be applicable. Suppose in question agricultural income has been given 10 lakh rupees. It's a good question. And non-agricultural income has been given 60 lakh rupees. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Now I have to go for integration. So now I will take in first step income 70 lakh rupees. On this, we will calculate tax. If it is 115 BAC, then as per the 115 BAC rate, otherwise as per optional tax. And because now it is exceeding 50 lakh rupees, so we have to apply surcharge over here in step 1 only. Rebate will not applicable because if surcharge is there, that means income exceeding 50 lakh. So rebate concept will be gone. We have to calculate surcharge, we will add it. So this will be my step 1 tax, including surcharge. Now step 2 will say that calculate 10 lakh rupees agricultural income plus exemption limit. Suppose exemption limit is 2,50,000. Now we will calculate tax on 12,50,000 as per normal provision. There will be no surcharge because income is only 12,50,000. 1 minus 2 will be my tax. Rebate would not apply because already surcharge has been imposed. Then 4% cess. That would be my answer. So if surcharge is applicable, you have to apply that surcharge over here directly.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
जी sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, 15 is a very interesting question. Let me tell you. Okay. Sir, will same apply if agriculture income exceeding? I told you agricultural income, even if exceeding 50 lakh rupees, and non-agricultural is suppose 5 lakh rupees. Even then, for the purpose of provision, my step 1 income is 55 lakh rupees. We will assume that 55 lakh rupees as non-agricultural, and yes, surcharge will be applicable. Step 1, step 2. Always assume the income as non-agricultural in both cases. Like in this cases, we calculate tax supposing income on 8,25,000, that is non-agricultural. And in second step, even we calculate tax assuming 4 lakh is a non-agricultural income. So even if in question says, suppose agricultural income is 60 lakh, non-agricultural suppose, बड़ा interesting question है देखो, 4 lakh. अभी क्या होगा? First point, 64 lakh rupees we will take in step 1. Clear? So whatever tax we will calculate, and we will add surcharge also, because for us this is 64 lakh rupees. It does not matter whether it's agricultural or non-agricultural. Now that would be my tax. For step 2, we will take 60 lakh plus exemption limit, suppose 2.5 lakh. So that would be 62.5 lakh. So we will take the tax and with surcharge. Now step 1 minus step 2. Now you see what will happen. This will be my step number 3. Now rebate will be provided. Why? Because non-agriculture income was less than 5 lakh rupees. And rebate is applicable on the provision which is related to non-agriculture income. So rebate will be there. So I always say that if there is surcharge, there will be no rebate. Clear? But this is the exception. If under agricultural integration cases, if agriculture income is more than 50 lakh, then for the purpose of step 1 and 2, you will apply surcharge. But you could even avail the rebate because it will depend upon your non-agriculture income. This is the beauty of income tax. Nothing is permanent. There could be any exception. This is the only exception where rebate and surcharge both can be applicable in the question. Okay. That was an integration question. Now all these questions are very simple. Which income from land which is situated in India and used for agriculture purpose will be treated as agricultural income? So correct answer is C. Rent and revenue both. Okay, Kavita is asking, rebate is applied for non-agricultural. Rebate is not applicable for non-resident. Rebate is applied for, okay, fine. You are asking for non-agricultural. Yes, rebate is only applicable on the basis of your non-agricultural income. Okay. Next is, income from farm building is exempt if fulfill following condition. So point number 17 is asking what condition need to be fulfilled. The correct answer is, of course, D. Integration provision applied following conditions fulfill. You all know now the all conditions should be fulfilled. That correct answer is D. Rebate 87A will be allowed in case of integration on the basis of which income? That is non-agricultural income. This is very important. So if somebody says like me that surcharge or rebate cannot be applied together, so there is one exception in case of integration, this can be happened. In case of growing and manufacturing of tea, what will be the proportionate? The correct answer is B. Mr. Suresh, age 45 years, resident, has non-agricultural income of 6,50,000. Agricultural income earned of 50,000. Compute the income tax payable by him under optional taxation. Kindly calculate and let me know the answers. If there are any confusion, I will solve it for you. Question number 21. What is the correct answer? Somebody is saying B. The correct answer is, of course, B. Anyone have any confusion how we find out the answer is B, 52,000? If any one of you want to know, let me know. I will solve it for you. Otherwise, it's a very simple integration question. Any problem, you can ask me. The last question, if non-agricultural income is 2,52,000 and net agriculture, okay, Kiran Mishra raised hand. Kiran Mishra wants me to solve the last question, 21. Okay, Kiran. Question 21. I am solving this, okay. So you want to say something, Kiran? Say.
हेलो सर
जी.
सर मेरा ये एक डाउट है कि अगर मेरा टोटल इनकम एक्सक्लूडिंग अदर इनकम अगर 1 CR को एग्जीट कर रहा है तो भी 15% ही रेट अप्लाई होगा सरचार्ज का.
अगर मेरी टोटल इनकम
एक्सक्लूडिंग अदर इनकम जिसमें अदर इनकम नहीं है,
हाँ हाँ,
ये 1 CR को एग्जिट कर रहा है, 1 CR से ज्यादा है, मतलब 1 करोड़ 1 लाख है, तो सर रेट सरचार्ज का कौन सा अप्लाई होगा?
देखिए ना, इसके लिए हमें सरचार्ज प्रोविजन को समझना पड़ेगा. हमारे लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम सरचार्ज का करेक्ट ऑप्शन पहले ढूंढे कि जो मेरा क्वेश्चन है वो किस कंडीशन में फुलफिल, किस कंडीशन में फॉल करता है. जैसे फॉर द पर्पस, अब आप ऑप्शनल स्कीम की बात कर रहे हैं. इसमें आप जो कहना चाह रहे हैं कि आपकी टोटल इनकम एक्सक्लूडिंग, अगर टोटल इनकम में 111A है या नहीं, पहले ये बताइए.
नहीं है.
11A 112A कुछ भी नहीं है.
नहीं है.
फिर तो वो केस 1 का पार्ट हो गया. उसमें अगर इनकम आपकी 1 करोड़ से 2 करोड़ के बीच में है तो सरचार्ज की रेट 15% हो गई. ये तो सिंपल वाला क्वेश्चन हो गया.
सर लेकिन प्रोविजन लिखा हुआ इंक्लूडिंग दिस इनकम 15% होगा.
नहीं, पहले आप अभी ना क्वेश्चन आप कह रहे हो कि 112A 11A और ये सारी इनकम नहीं है उस एसएससी की, सिर्फ अदर इनकम है. अगर लॉन्ग टर्म 112A 112 111A और डिविडेंड वाली इनकम है ही नहीं उसकी, उसके अलावा सारी इनकम है, तो फिर तो सरचार्ज की रेट ये वाली एप्लीकेबल होगी. एक सेकंड, आपको अच्छा शो नहीं हो रहा है जस्ट वेट.
सर स्टडी मटेरियल में जो दिया हुआ है उसमें जो प्रोविजन लिखी हुई है उसमें 2 नंबर पॉइंट में लिखी हुई है वेयर टोटल इनकम इंक्लूडिंग दिस इनकम, मतलब स्पेशल इनकम एग्जिट 1 करोड़ देन 15%, और एक्सक्लूडिंग तो सर 2 ही है बस.
अरे अरे, ये देखो चार्ट अभी मैंने ओपन करा, आप देखिए चार्ट दिख रहा है आपको?
हाँ सर.
ठीक है. इस चार्ट में आप जो क्वेश्चन कह रही हैं, उस क्वेश्चन में आप कह रही हैं कि हमारी इनकम 112A, हमारी इनकम में 112 भी नहीं है, 112A भी नहीं है, 111A भी नहीं है और डिविडेंड भी नहीं है. ठीक है, यही क्वेश्चन है आपका कि मेरी जो इनकम है उसमें इनमें से कोई इनकम नहीं.
हाँ सर.
अब इनमें से कोई इनकम नहीं तो रेट
हाँ, तो
सरचार्ज की
15%.
15% आ जाएगी. इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन है? अब बताओ क्या कंफ्यूजन है. स्टडी को खोले.
नहीं सर यहाँ पर क्लियर है, स्टडी मैट पे.
चलो
हाँ,
स्टडी का, स्टडी की देख लेते हैं. स्टडी में आप कह रहे हैं, स्टडी का कंफ्यूजन भी क्लियर कर लेते हैं. पेज नंबर पता है क्या आपको?
यस सर.
बताओ.
सर 1.93.
1.93. 1.81. ये तो रिवीजन प्रोविजन है. ये तो सिर्फ रिवीजन के लिए है. जो इसका डिटेल प्रोविजन है उसमें आप देखेंगे तो ऐसा नहीं होगा. वैसे देखते हैं, चलो इसमें आप क्या कह रहे हो. 90, 91, 1.93.
सर डिटेल प्रोविजन भी है सर, पेज 163 का, उसमें भी सेम प्रोविजन दिया हुआ है.
देखते हैं, बताओ बताओ.
1.63.
63 हो.
1.63.
1.63 पे आते हैं. स्कोर ये आ गया. अब इसमें कौन सा पॉइंट कह रहे हैं आप बताइए. सेकंड
नंबर
यही वाला, वेयर, ये वाला.
हाँ सर. यस सर।
टोटल इनकम, अब आप क्वेश्चन आपका गलत था ना, ये है इंक्लूडिंग डिविडेंड। अभी आप मुझे बोल रहे थे कि एक्सक्लूडिंग, कोई और इनकम नहीं है। जब हमारा चार्ट कब लगेगा, आप ये कह रहे हो व्हेन टोटल इनकम इंक्लूडिंग डिविडेंड इनकम एंड कैपिटल गेन चार्जेबल टू टैक्स एक्सीडिंग 1 CR बट लेस देन 2 CR। बट इसमें तो ये वाली इनकम इंक्लूड हो गई ना
हाँ सर,
टोटल।
इसीलिए तो 50%।
तो ये फिर ये वाला पार्ट नहीं बना ना, ये तो पार्ट चेंज हो गया हमारे इस वाले का। इसमें तो हम ये मानते हैं कि इंक्लूडिंग है ही नहीं, तो इसमें कंसेप्ट लगा ये वाला जो आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, अब वो ये वाला हो गया। इफ टोटल इनकम इंक्लूडिंग 112A, ये वाला पार्ट है वो। अब इंक्लूडिंग 112A इज अप टू 2
मेरा
CR, मतलब मोर देन 1 CR।
सर
उसमें
मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि ये एक्सक्लूडिंग है, टोटल इनकम एक्सक्लूडिंग है।
कहाँ है? अभी तो इंक्लूडिंग पढ़वाया आपने मेरे को, उसमें देखिए ना।
नहीं सर, उस
वे
क्वेश्चन में वो प्रोविजन अप्लाई हो रहा है, वही
अच्छा,
हम बोल रहे हैं।
क्वेश्चन देखो, क्वेश्चन पे आते हैं। ठीक है, ये प्रोविजन तो सही है, ठीक है, ये प्रोविजन सही है। अब आप मुझे 1 पॉइंट कौन सा क्वेश्चन कह रहे हैं? 93 पेज पर,
इलू 6, इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 6,
पेज नंबर
पेज 170।
170। इलस्ट्रेशन 6 तो मैंने भी शायद सॉल्व कर रखा है।
सर यहाँ जैसे एक्सक्लूडिंग अदर इनकम है, टोटल इनकम, तो सरचार्ज फिर भी 15% ही ले रहे हैं हम लोग।
अरे देखो, कंप्यूट टैक्स लायबिलिटी ऑफ मिस्टर बी एज 51 ईयर अंडर द डिफॉल्ट टैक्स रेजिम। ठीक है,
हाँ
having total income of 1 crore 1 lakh rupees, assume that his total income comprise salary income, house property and interest on fixed deposit।
यस
मतलब
सर।
इस क्वेश्चन में कहीं भी वो वाली चारों इनकम नहीं है। ठीक है,
यस
और
सर,
सर।
जब वो चारों इनकम नहीं होंगी तो हमारा जो डायग्राम है उसमें रेट ये वाली लग रही है 15%। आप जो स्टडी का पार्ट आप मुझे दिखा रहे हो ना, वो आप गलत कह रहे हो। एक्चुअली ये वाला क्वेश्चन वो वाले पॉइंट का नहीं है, उसमें इंक्लूडिंग इनकम थी। ये वाला जो आप क्वेश्चन मुझसे पूछ रही हैं 6, वो उस वाली कैटेगरी में 1.73 में फॉल नहीं करेगा। मैं आपको बताता हूं, वो आप पॉइंट की कैटेगरी गलत रहेगी। आप मुझसे पूछ रहे हैं कौन से पेज था वो? 1.63।
यस सर।
ये पॉइंट है इंक्लूडिंग डिविडेंड इनकम, कि उस क्वेश्चन में डिविडेंड की इनकम होनी चाहिए। डिविडेंड की इनकम आप जो मुझसे भी एग्जांपल पूछ रहे हैं उसमें है ही नहीं। वो अदर देन डिविडेंड वाला क्वेश्चन है, उसमें ये वाला पॉइंट एप्लीकेबल नहीं हो रहा है, इसका अलग से पॉइंट होगा। ये तो स्पेशल, उसमें देखिए कौन सा पॉइंट लग रहा है, मैं आपको दिखाता हूं। टोटल इनकम इंक्लूडिंग डिविडेंड इनकम इंक्लूडिंग टोटल इनकम इंक्लूडिंग वो ये वाला है वो। द रेट ऑफ टोटल इनकम एक्सक्लूडिंग डिविडेंड इनकम, इसमें 2 करोड़ पे 25% है, ये वाला भी नहीं है। ये भी ठीक है, वो वाला पॉइंट इसमें है ही नहीं। आप उस पॉइंट को से कनेक्ट क्यों कर रहे हो? ये तो वो वाला पॉइंट है ही नहीं। जो आप पॉइंट पूछ रहे हो वो इस टेबल में यहाँ पर नहीं है। वो तो सिंपल प्रोविजन है, आप इससे देखोगे आपको सारे सरचार्ज के रेट करेक्ट मिलेंगे। जो आपका क्वेश्चन आपने मुझे पूछा है वो इस कैटेगरी में ही फॉल करता है। उस क्वेश्चन में साफ साफ लिखा है कि आपकी इनकम 1 करोड़ कुछ लाख है और उसमें कोई भी इनकम 111A 112A और 111A की नहीं है। 112A 112 और डिविडेंड, इन चारों में से इनकम नहीं है। आपकी इनकम सिंपल 1 करोड़ 2 लाख रुपए क्वेश्चन में गिवन है, जिसमें से इन चारों में से कोई इनकम नहीं। तो ये हमारा केस 1 है, और उसमें इनकम क्योंकि 1 करोड़ से 2 करोड़ के बीच में है, तो सरचार्ज की रेट 15% लगेगी। आप उसकी लैंग्वेज से कंफ्यूज कर रहे हैं। जो स्टडी में लिखा है वो भी करेक्ट है, बट वो इस वाले पॉइंट के बारे में बात ही नहीं कर रहा। वहां बात हो रही है इंक्लूडिंग दीज इनकम। आपके क्वेश्चन में तो ये इनकम है ही नहीं।
यस सर, समझ गए सर। स्टडी मैट में कंफ्यूजन हो गया था।
वो लैंग्वेज थोड़ी सी लिखी है, बट वो भी ठीक है। बट आपको अगर कंफ्यूजन है, आप इस चार्ट से करो, आपको कोई सरचार्ज की रेट बिल्कुल करेक्ट मिलेगी और एकदम परफेक्ट आएगा केस डिसाइड करने के बाद कि क्या सरचार्ज लगना चाहिए।
Yes, sir. Chart clear है.
Correct. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Well, any other problem, students? Because we are completed our session. If there's any query, kindly ask me. Kiran is asking, sir, I think she's, yes, she was confused what is including and excluding in the language. Okay. Otherwise, the study material also correct and the diagram is also correct. Partial integration with surcharge we have discussed already. So next, my revision class is, I guess, capital gain and PGBP. That would be after 3rd week of October. And the new session for May 2025 is starting from 4th of October. Sir, please explain about alternate minimum tax. Swati, you are asking. This is the part of computation of tax chapter number 9, Swati. So if I have been allotted chapter 9 revision class, I will explain the AMT also there. This is not the part of basic concept. In the basic concept chapter, actually, there's a very short regarding AMT has been given. So that cannot be explained over here because it needs to be explained in detail. So that is going to be discussed when we will take the class for computation of tax liability. Okay, so we will take the residential class. Kindly go to the schedule. You will find it out. Okay. Notes पोर्टल पे अपडेट कर दिए बच्चों, वहां से आप लोग डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. Yes, all the lectures have been available on YouTube. You can go into the ICAI YouTube channel, go to the playlist. In the playlist, you will find out the normal classes and divisionary classes also as per the attempt. You can watch those classes whenever, anytime, multiple time. Okay, so all the best for all of you. And if you have any query regarding notes, etc., you can mail to the BOS. They will tell you from where you can download the notes also. Okay, so good day, all the best, see you soon.